Everyone at Ridgeway High thought the new girl was invisible, easy to ignore, easy to mock. No one knew her story, her scars, or the secret she hid behind her silence. So when a group of students dared her to sing at the school's showcase as a joke, the whole auditorium expected a disaster. But what they didn't expect was that the one person who stepped up to help her prepare was a worn-out single dad with calloused hands, a broken past, and a heart big enough to change her world. And when she finally opened her mouth on stage, every laugh, every whisper, every cruel thought fell dead silent. This is the story of the girl who found her voice, and the man who helped her believe she deserved to be heard. Maya Rivers kept her eyes on the floor as she walked through the hallway, clutching her books like a shield. Ridgeway High wasn't unkind by nature, but to a quiet girl with thrift store shoes, wrinkled shirts, and no phone to hide behind, it could feel like a battlefield. She had moved here only 3 weeks ago with her mom, who worked double shifts at a diner to keep them afloat. Maya never complained. She knew struggle was temporary. She just had to survive school. Unfortunately, school had other plans. It started during lunch when Harper and her group approached Maya's table. Harper, with her polished nails and perfect ponytail, wore the kind of smile that always meant trouble. "We heard you like music," Harper said sweetly, leaning on the table. Maya blinked. I mean I listened to it." "Oh, perfect." Harper clapped dramatically. "We're signing you up for the school talent showcase." Maya's stomach dropped. "What?" "No, really, I can't." "You'll sing," Harper insisted. "Everyone wants to hear you." But that wasn't true. Harper didn't care about hearing her. She cared about watching her fail. A harmless joke for them. Public humiliation for Maya. When Maya didn't respond, Harper smirked, tapped her on the shoulder, and walked off with her friends laughing behind her. By the end of the day, Maya's name appeared on the official performers list in thick black ink. Her heart pounded as she stared at it. She wasn't a singer. She barely spoke in class. The idea of standing on stage made her legs feel weak. Tears burned at her eyes, but she wiped them before anyone could see. She didn't want pity. She just wanted to go home. But home wasn't a sanctuary. Her mother had picked up an extra shift, leaving Maya alone in their small apartment. She sat on the edge of her bed and whispered the truth she'd never said aloud. "I can sing, but I can't sing in front of people." She had kept her voice hidden for years, ever since her dad left. Music had been their thing. When he walked out, the melody inside her dimmed. She promised herself she'd never let anyone hear her again. The next morning, Maya trudged to school early, hoping to avoid crowds. Instead, she ran into a man kneeling beside a fallen box of paintbrushes, mumbling under his breath. "Morning," he said without looking up. "Mind giving an old guy a hand?" Maya hesitated, then gently helped him gather the brushes. "Thanks," he said, finally standing. He wore a custodian's uniform, tired eyes, and a smile that felt warm, not judging, not mocking. "I'm Daniel, or Mr. Hayes if you follow school protocol, which honestly I don't." Maya nodded awkwardly. "I'm Maya." "Ah, the new kid." He balanced the box on his hip. "How are they treating you?" She shrugged. "It's fine." He gave her a look, one that said he'd heard hundreds of kids say the same thing. "Well, if fine ever turns into not fine, you know where to find me. I basically made this school my second home." That made Maya smile just a little. As she turned to leave, Harper and her friends passed by and loudly sang, "Can't wait for your big debut, Maya." Daniel watched them go, then looked at Maya's face. "You worried about something?" She froze. "It's nothing." He nodded thoughtfully. "If you say so. But I'm here if you ever need to talk. Or hide. I'm excellent at hiding." That tiny joke, light, simple, unexpected, made something fragile in her heart loosen. She didn't know then how much she would need him. That afternoon, Maya stayed after school, sitting alone on the back steps. Her nerves had twisted into tight knots. The showcase was only a week away. She didn't even know what song to sing. She didn't notice Daniel approach until he sat beside her with 2 paper cups. One is hot chocolate. The other is tea. He held both out. Choose your destiny. She took the hot chocolate, hands warming instantly. Talk to me, he said softly. Something's weighing on you. The words tumbled out. About the dare, the showcase, the mockery. She didn't cry, but her voice trembled enough. Daniel listened. Really listened. When she finished, he nodded slowly. So they expect you to embarrass yourself, he said. But what if you didn't? She stared at him. I can't sing in front of people. Who told you that? Maya looked down. No one. I just know. Daniel tapped his chest lightly. Fear lies to us. All the time. She swallowed. You don't even know if I can sing. Daniel smiled, gentle but curious. Then let me find out. Just me. No one else. Her throat tightened. The idea terrified her. But something in Daniel's eyes, steady, kind, father-like, made her nod. He stood and held out his hand. Come on. Let's hear that voice you're hiding. In that moment, Maya didn't know she was stepping into the safest place she'd ever been. Daniel led Maya to the old music room, and used, dusty, full of instruments that hadn't been touched in years. He flicked on the dim light, and gestured toward the center of the room. Take your time, he said. No pressure. No judgment. Maya's heart pounded. She clasped her hands to stop them from shaking. She hadn't sung in front of anyone since she was 9. But Daniel waited patiently, like he had all the time in the world. She closed her eyes, inhaled, and began to sing the softest notes of a song she used to sing with her dad. Her voice cracked at first from nerves, but as the melody flowed, it grew steady, gentle, and pure. Daniel's breath caught. When she finished, she kept her eyes shut, too afraid to see disappointment or pity. Maya, he whispered. That was unbelievable. Her eyes snapped open. You're just being nice. I don't do nice. I do honest. He placed a hand on his chest. And right now, my heart is beating like it just witnessed something extraordinary. A warmth spread through Maya, fear, disbelief, hope all tangled together. Daniel stepped closer. Let me help you prepare. Not to prove something to them, but to prove something to yourself. For the next week, they met secretly after school. Daniel taught her breathing techniques, posture, how to fight nerves with focus. They laughed more than they practiced some days. Maya learned that Daniel was a single father to a boy named Eli, who had passed away 4 years earlier. Singing had been Eli's passion, but Daniel never got to see him pursue it. You remind me of him, he said once, voice soft. Same quiet strength. Maya didn't know what to say, except to try even harder. Words spread about her preparation. Harper caught wind of it, and intensified the teasing. Practicing won't help, she sneered. Some people just aren't meant for the spotlight. Maya wanted to crumble. But Daniel's words echoed in her mind. Fear lies. Don't let it speak for you. When showcase night arrived, Maya felt like her legs were made of lead. The auditorium buzzed with chatter. She could hear whispers. She's going to choke. Why would she even try? What a joke. Her hands shook so badly she nearly dropped the microphone. Daniel crouched beside her backstage. Maya, he said quietly. Look at me. She did. You're not here to prove them wrong. You're here to prove you can be brave. Her breathing steadied. And even if your voice shakes, he added, sing anyway. He squeezed her shoulder gently. I'm right here. Her name was called. She stepped onto the stage. The spotlight blinded her. The crowd looked impossibly large. She heard laughter. Felt the weight of every doubt she'd ever had. Then she saw Daniel at the side of the stage, giving her a small nod, the kind a father gives when he believes in you more than you believe in yourself. Maya took a breath. And she sang. The first note floated into the air, clear, delicate, shimmering with raw emotion. The audience fell silent. No snickers. No whispers. just stunned stillness. Her voice rose higher, fuller, stronger, filled with every memory, every heartbreak, every hope she had kept buried. By the time she reached the final note, the room was holding its breath. And then, the applause erupted. Loud. Real. Overwhelming. Maya stood frozen, tears streaming down her face. Backstage, Daniel wiped his eyes quickly, pretending it was dust. "You did it," he whispered when she ran to him. "No," she said, hugging him tightly. "We did." The next day, people approached Maya not with mocking smiles, but with awe. Harper couldn't even look her in the eye. But none of that mattered. What mattered was that she discovered something powerful: her voice, her courage, her worth. In helping Maya, Daniel healed a part of himself too. He couldn't guide his own son anymore, but he had given Maya the wings she needed. Maya sang again, at school, at church, at local events. Her confidence grew. Her mother cried every time. And one day, Maya told Daniel, "You're the reason I found my voice." Daniel shook his head with a smile. "No, kiddo, you always had it. I just reminded you it was there."